Good evening, sports fans. I have visited the Condarian ruins, and I have concluded that the trees, Ash, the trees are coming to life. I believe the Annunaki are coming back. I believe Nima is coming back to the temple here in Nimes, and I believe that Enki is going to the temple in Valhalla, and I believe the Neil is going to the Parthenon. And have a look at these places. They all have the exact same doors, exact same height, exact same style. Just check them out. I've seen two of them, and now I had in my mind, right? I had a real impetus to go to Parthenon, and I was forcing myself not to want to walk down there and have a look. I still want to walk down there and have a look. I go walk in there and that thing's nearly complete. But maybe that's what they're waiting for. The three Annunaki, they're waiting for that Parthenon to be restored. And my opinion is the Annunaki, right? The Sumerians have the Enki and Enlil as brothers, and then Nima as a female. The Nephilim, right? But I reckon they're all female. That's what I reckon. I don't believe that there is a male with the Anunnaki. They're all female. And yeah, a lot of people say they're not gods. Oh, my little torch went out. I'll resurrect him. Hey, there we are. Just down here. I made him up out of a child's toy I found on the side of the road. I fixed it up. It was a simple fix, and then I cut all the components out and put them all together in a little pouch. But it works. And I got a red, white, and blue. No, blue, red, and white. Blue, white, and red. But it's kind of pretty. And yeah, that's what it is. So they're coming back. And I do believe they tried when the Nibiru, when their sun was expanding and their planet got too hot, they were trying to put gold dust in the atmosphere to reflect the sun. So it'd be cool. And they come to where they knew there was gold, and that was Earth. And they had to have slaves. And maybe so far back then, their technology wasn't the greatest, I don't know. But so they had to use us. And they made us genetically, right? And all around the world, we were working in these mines. And as far as I'm concerned, right, Naima, she just thinks, oh, look, I'm going to splice the DNA of the predators and the animals there into the humans in that location so that they can have the digestive system and the ability to stomach the food that's there better and easier, and then they'll work harder for us, right? So I'm part Austrian, and check out my canines, right? They're like a wolf. Check them out. Like Vlad the Impaler, Count Dracula, look. Yeah? Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, seen his canines? He's from Austria. Seen him? Look at him, look. It's almost freaky, look. Canines. And, science are going to tell you something else, right? Bunk them. They're lying, flat out lying here. First they come up with global warming from the spray can, CFC, chlorofluorocarbons, and they say we got to get them out of the spray packs because that's a greenhouse effect. So that's totally removed. There's no more of those anymore. Haven't been for 20 years or something, or even more, longer. But the temperature's still going up. So now they've got to make something else up. What is it? CO2 gas is in the air from pollution. Now that CO2 gas is a little reduced because we put catalytic converters in our car and that, now they're claiming cows farting. It's like mental, and people are just buying all this bullshit. Like, the Anunnaki is, I don't know, they're got to be super intelligent, but they don't realize that humans aren't as analytical as them. You know what I mean? They just can't tell us that the cows are farting. And then, well, it's CFC gas. And then when that's removed, they go, what will we say? I'll just say it's CO2 gas now. Oh, CO2 gas. And then, that's removed. What will we say now? Oh, just tell them the cows are farting too much. Oh, the cows are farting too much. It's like childish in a way. How this is where because we're from animals, we think differently. You know what I mean? It's not that we have a higher intelligence, but we think differently, and you know what I mean. You can't pull the wool over our eyes. Pull the other leg, it plays jingle bells. You know what I mean? But a lot of people on Earth are just buying into all this bullshit. And it's just complete and utter nonsense. I never believed it from day one. This bloody climate change and bloody bunkum. But you have very smart people running around saying that it is. You got Carl Sagan in the Senate committee. I think it's from pollution. Right? You got Bill Gates now running around. Oh, it's pollution. I'm going to spend another $1 zillion on helping Africa. But all this is like spare change, like at 1 cent in his back pocket. He doesn't care if it falls out or not. Nothing to that guy. They got more money than you poke a stick at. No one knows how much money they got. And it's certainly a lot more than what they're letting on. But, yeah. But look how he's jumping all over the earth, right? But the whole truth is that males aren't in favour and never been in favour. Because Anunnakis, there are no males. There's females and that's it. Right? If you want to have a look, Moses, right? Pharaoh of Egypt. In the Bible, it says Moses was born in the bulrushes. Right? And Moses was placed in the bulrushes. But Moses was the Pharaoh of Egypt. I always thought that as a kid when I read this story and was told the story from the Bible, even in Sunday school. I'm always thinking, yeah, but it sounds like Moses was the Pharaoh because he's got the staff, he's got Aaron, and Moses doesn't speak the Egyptian. He says, I'm not eloquent of tongue, and I have to have my interpreter, Aaron, to speak for me, right? So, what's going on there? And then he marries Nefertiti. Oh, God, I got to say, Moses is the Pharaoh Akhenaten, and he marries Nefertiti. Now, we got to get the timelines correct in the Bible, because they're all not correct. And I think they're like crossed over and higgledy-piggledy. Like, King Solomon is not in the time they say. And Moses is not in the time they say. Noah is not in the time they say. Noah definitely, almost certainly happened 12,800 years ago when Younger Dryas comet asteroid come through and airburst over the North American continent where the ice was 2 miles high and it melted and the sea level rose 400 feet. There was no South China Sea before that happened. And the sea levels rose 400 feet, and all these cities are underwater. I go down to Marshallay, right? And they've got warnings as the waves are crashing in that be careful because there's statues under the water that you can get caught on. And they show you a picture of it, and it's like a female statue. And if you consider that the Anunnaki were moving, once they couldn't make their planet survive by gold dust to reflect the ever-expanding sun, they worked out, oh, well, just let's put the whole planet in the solar system where Earth is. And I believe that's what they were trying to do. And they failed, and they all died. But some were on Mars, and then they moved from Mars to this area in France, and that's why you have Mars Chalet, the chalet of Mars, right? And you have the temple out there. It's restored, and the Bible says, when the temple is restored, Jesus, or the Messiah, will return. Messiah is very feminine, isn't it? Messiah, Nima. So there you have it. And they're coming back. And all this craziness going on in the world is a result of that. And people like Bill Gates and me and other autistic people, it's very difficult for the Annunaki to pull the wool over our eyes because we're so trained and focused on our own thoughts and what we're going to do. So it's not working on us. And I do notice it's gas in the city, and when it's very powerful, I kind of like see what everyone else is seeing. They're not even seeing their own reality. It's like something else. I find it very. I smell this gas, and then it's very difficult for me to see where I'm going, and it's like something else is there. But it's not the road that I'm looking at. I'm thinking, I need to look at this road that, car's not going to run over me, but it flashes in and out, and I'm not seeing that, right? And it's only with this gas, and I believe this gas is like everywhere in the atmosphere. It's so minute that I can't smell it, but it's not strong enough to have an effect on me. So I'm marching along the beat of my own drum, where everyone else is like in some sort of hypnotic trance, like a voodoo kind of thing, right? And it's what I believe. And where the Anunnaki don't give a rat's ass shit about anything, right? They're not kind, loving people at all. They're more like robots themselves, and they don't care about anything. Because I see the old people, you see young kids in their teens, and the old people that are really controlled. And I'm trying to do things, right, to better myself forward. And they don't care. They'll just put these old people in absolute danger. Just the old lady the other day tried to get in front of me in the door, and the door openly knocked her on her feet. She hit her head on the ground, she'd be dead. It's highly possible. And they really don't care. So long as they stop what I'm trying to do, shut me up, they're happy. So, but they can't exactly control me like that. So that's how it is. Some people they can, me they can't. Maybe Paul Green, NRL Paul Green, shoots himself, and a few others. Elvis Presley's daughter. But I'll get into that in part 2.